Hello and welcome to marketing91.com. CSR strategies. 4 main steps are involved in CSR strategy: strategy planning and formulation, strategy implementation, strategic evaluation, and strategic control. Let's look at some major CSR initiatives in the education sector. Project Nanhi Kali. Mahindra & Mahindra CSR spend in 2014 and 15 was Rs 83.2 crore, with its flagship CSR program being Nanhi Kali. Project Nanhi Kali supports the education of over 11 lakh underprivileged girls in 10 states by providing material support in the form of uniforms, bags, notebooks, shoes and socks, and academic supports in the form of workbooks and study classes. Key outcome was increased enrollment of girls in school and reduction in dropouts to less than 10%. Deutsche Bank donated to Educate Girls, a non-profit organization that tackles the root causes of gender inequality in India's education system. Gail Utkarsh has helped over 500 students from economically backward communities join India's premier engineering institutes. These students were provided residential coaching programs and given monthly scholarships once they entered IITs and NIITs. The next sector is health. Project MANSI Tata Steel. Tata Steel CSR spend in FY 2014 and 15 was Rs 171.46 crore, with its flagship program being Project Maternal and Newborn Survival Initiative, MANSI. MANSI is a public-private initiative that aims to reduce child and infant mortality in 167 villages of the Seraikela block of Jharkhand Seraikela Kharaswan district. Key outcome: reduction in neonatal mortality rate by 32.7%, reduction in infant mortality rate up to the age of 1 year by 26.5%, and increase in institutional delivery from 58% to 81% in 2014-15. L&T partners with local governments on healthcare programs focused on reproductive health, tuberculosis and leprosy control, and integrated counseling and testing center for HIV/AIDS. L&T's community health centers are located at Mumbai, Thane, Ahmednagar, etc. Mahindra & Mahindra sponsors Lifeline Express train that provide medical treatment to far-flung communities. Deutsche Bank supports Can Kids, a non-profit organization that provides children suffering from cancer with access to quality healthcare at Tata Memorial Hospital. The next segment is environment. Project BOOND BPCL. BPCL CSR spend in FY 2014 and 15 was Rs 33.95 crore, with its flagship program being Project BOOND. This project constructs rainwater harvesting structures to help make villages drought-free. It began with 4 villages in Maharashtra. In the last 6 years, it has covered over 140 villages in Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh and Andhra Pradesh and made them water positive. Key outcome: in 2014 and 15, 40 villages were made water positive by creating 7 crore litres of water, benefiting over 5,500 families. L&T recently committed to constructing 50 check dams in the Talasari block of Palghar district in Maharashtra, taking the total number of check dams constructed over the years to 150. This will benefit over 75,000 villagers. Tata Power, Act for Mahasir, a conservation initiative started in 1975 for saving endangered species, set up a breeding center in Lonavala as part of its eco-restoration and eco-development project for lakes. This program has produced and distributed more than 10 million Mahasir seeds in various water bodies in India and internationally. M&M. Through Project Haryali, M&M has planted 7.9 million trees, including 4 million in the tribal belt of Araku Valley. The next segment is sanitation. Bihar Hand Washing Project, HUL. HUL CSR spend in FY 2014 and 15 was Rs 82.35 crore. HUL partnered with the Children's Investment Fund Foundation, CIFF, and Government of Bihar to promote hand hygiene among children in Bihar. This program reaches nearly 1 million people with the aim of preventing diseases and reducing child mortality in Begusarai and Khagaria districts of Bihar. Future target: HUL aims to cover more districts in Bihar and reach 45 million people in the next 3 years. M&M has constructed 4,340 toilets in 1,171 locations across 11 states and 104 districts specifically for girls in government schools as part of Swachh Bharat Swachh Vidyalay. Gail has constructed public toilets, including school toilets and sewerage drains, to provide hygienic conditions for villagers while educating them on the need for sanitation and hygiene. The next segment is employment and skill development. Youth Spark Microsoft. Microsoft, in partnership with NASSCOM, launched the 4th edition of Youth Spark Live in 2016 to encourage young girls to consider computer science as a future employment opportunity. 300 young girls in the age group of 15 to 24 from underrepresented communities attend a day's workshop focused on demystifying computer coding, thus making computer code more accessible and understandable. Mahindra and Mahindra's Pride schools provide livelihood training to youth from socially and economically disadvantaged communities. They have trained over 13,000 youth in Pune, Chennai, Patna, Chandigarh and Srinagar. The next segment is culture and heritage. Happy Move, Hyundai Motors. Hyundai Motors India Limited, in association with the Archaeological Survey of India, launched the Happy Move campaign in January 2016 to spread awareness about Indian heritage monuments. Hyundai conducted an awareness drive with 100 Happy Move global youth volunteers, 80 from Korea and 20 from India, at heritage sites such as Safdarjung's tomb, Feroz Shah Kotla Fort, Qutub Minar and Purana Qila or Old Fort. Coca-Cola India was involved in the restoration of 2 400-year-old step walls in Rajasthan, Sarai Bavri and Kale Hanuman Ki Bavri. Project Shakti, HUL. Project Shakti aims to financially empower rural men and women and create livelihood opportunities for them. It provides a regular income stream for Shakti entrepreneurs and their families. It equips them with smartphones with a mini ERP solution to help them run their businesses efficiently and increase their income. In 2010, the Shakti program was extended to include Shaktimans, who are typically the husbands or brothers of Shakti Ammas. Shaktimans complement Shakti Ammas. They sell products on bicycles in surrounding villages, covering a larger area than Shakti Ammas can cover on foot. Today, Project Shakti provides livelihood-enhancing opportunities to nearly 70,000 Shakti entrepreneurs who distribute HUL products in more than 162,000 villages and reach over 4 million rural households. Ethical issues in international business practices, employment practices and ethics. Ethical issues may be related to employment practices in many nations. Conditions in a host country may be much inferior to those in a multinational's home nation. 12-hour workdays, minimal pay and indifference toward protecting workers from toxic chemicals are common in some developing nations. Human rights. Basic human rights are still denied in many nations. Freedom of speech, association, assembly and movement and freedom from political repression, etc. are not universally accepted. Environmental pollution. Ethical issues may arise if environmental regulations in the host nation are much inferior to those in the home nation. Many nations have strict regulations regarding emissions of pollutants, dumping and use of toxic materials, etc. Developing nations may not be so strict, resulting in increased levels of pollution from operations of multinationals in host nations. Corruption. Corrupt government officials are common and international businesses often seem to or actually gain financial and business advantages by bribing those officials, which is clearly unethical. Thank you.